Hello friends! So today I'm going to be doing my August manga wrap up. So first off, what do you think about this location? Is it good? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm just a little bit lazy to set everything up in front of my shelves, but maybe we'll move back and forth. So today I am going to be going over everything that I read in August. Truthfully, there's not a ton. There's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like only 15 volumes, which seems like a lot, but one of them is like an entire series. At the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm not gonna do monthly wrap-ups, but I really need to do monthly wrap-ups because otherwise I forget and then they become the disaster that was my last one. Also, I'm doing 30 and 30 manga for September, so I'm going to be reading a lot of manga in September. So we gotta get August out of the way. First up, I am actually not 100% sure this is everything I read in August because I had the Manga Olympics that finished up in the beginning of the month, but you can watch my Manga Olympics vlog for everything that I read during that and then come back here for the rest of the month. One thing that I do remember I read in August for the Manga Olympics was the last 2 volumes of Yukarism. So this is a short Shojo romance series. It's by Chika Shiomi. This is a series about this guy named Yukari, and he is a high school student and he is an author of these like really popular like historical novels. I can't remember if they're like romance novels or not, but they are like very accurate and kind of give like a feeling that he somehow has lived during that time. This new girl that comes to school is kind of a fan of his and his books. So when they meet, this kind of string of events happen that kind of lead to Yukari, the main character, I don't know if I said his name, but Yukari kind of slipping back and forth between the Edo period, so like past Japan and the present, and him kind of like living a past life, it seems. And there's a whole story that goes in there that has a lot of revenge, love, backstabbing, magic, violence, that sort of thing, and mystery in it. So it was really interesting. It definitely surprised me with like kind of who was who in their past lives. There's this really good sort of love triangle is not quite the word for it, but it gives that feeling, and it was really good trying to figure out like who was who, because Yukari is confused about it for a while, and so the reader is, but this was really good. I picked this up on a whim. I had heard nothing about it in the past, and I hadn't heard anybody talk about this, and it sounded interesting, and there were only a few volumes left on Amazon, so I was like, I'm just gonna pick this up. It's only a 4-volume series, a really good ending, and just I just had so much fun trying to figure out what was happening in this. Next up, I read volume 8 of Demon Prince of Momochi House. This is by Shojo. So as of recording this video, yesterday I finished the rest of the series. I read like 8 volumes in one night. So I'm going to talk about the whole series kind of in my September wrap-up, but volume 8 is kind of right there in the middle. There's 16 volumes of this series, so this is about the midpoint. And this volume you find out a lot about Aoi's past and kind of how that might help him escape Momochi House. So this is a really good volume for backstory. You get a lot about Aoi's family and kind of how he became the Nue. It's kind of like an emotional story a little bit. So yeah, if you're looking for the background of Aoi, this is going to be your volume. So more thoughts on my like my full thoughts on this series next month. Next up, I picked up volume 14 of Snow White with the Red Hair. I have this series on pre-order, but something happened with the release date of this and my pre-order got pushed back to like September, and I was like, no, and then I found it in the store. So yeah, so this is kind of the beginning of a new arc of the story. We have Zen and Shiryuki in different places in their lives and physically in different places. Emotionally, they are still together, thank God. But we kind of have them starting off on their respective journeys. It's a little bit sad that they are not really together, but you do get some good Shiryuki and Zen moments in this. Don't worry. There's a good thing, there's some good stuff about Obi in here. So it's kind of like Shiryuki kind of deciding what she wants to do in the future, which is really good. Like, we know that Shiryuki is kind of like herself and her goals first, and then her relationship second, but not really second. It's like supplemental to her. It's not going to stop her from achieving her own dreams, is what I was trying to say with this. But it's really good. There's a lot of really good Shiryuki and Obi moments in this, which is very nice. I love this manga to death. So I used to read scans of this before it was released in English, and there was a lot of scans before this was released in English. So I have read way past this. So I'm kind of just waiting for something to happen that I'm angry about, and when it happens, you will hear. The spoilers will not happen. Like, there will be no more secrecy, because I'm very angry about it. And I don't really recommend reading scans, especially if the actual volumes are out in English. Just putting that out there, please don't read scans of stuff that's being released. But anyway, so yeah, I always love Snow White with the Red Hair. There's not a ton I can say about it at this point, except that you need to read it, but I feel like I say that every single time. Last up for the physical manga is going to be volumes 2 and volume 3 of A Sign of Affection. So I have started tabbing my manga to kind of like keep place of things that I liked, important things to the story, just art that I really enjoyed. So I got this idea from, oh, I am gonna ruin your name and I am so sorry. It's Laura, Laura Newseth. I think that's how you say it, and I apologize. I probably just ruined your last name, and that is the worst. But yeah, so she tabs her manga, and I was like, that is a good idea. Also because I am terrible at giving real reviews. I'm just like, this was really good. But so hopefully this will help me give you some better insight on what I actually thought about the manga. Because I know last month my wrap up was kind of a chaotic mess because I didn't remember anything. So tabbing it and going through it before I do my wrap ups will help me, hopefully. So, A Sign of Affection is a manga. I don't know if it's shoujo or josei. Does it really matter at this point? But it's about a couple in college. Itsuomi, who is this kind of like multilingual, well-traveled, handsome college student. And then Yuki, who is a girl who is deaf. So she kind of has a limited worldview. So it's about the two of them becoming friends and then eventually a relationship, because it is a romance thing, so you know what's gonna happen. That's not a real spoiler. So yeah, it's about these two people with very different types of worldviews coming together and kind of expanding each other's worlds. It's also a lot about communication because obviously Yuki is deaf, so the way that they communicate is a little bit unique. Okay, so most of what I noted in this one was about Yuki's childhood friend. I don't even remember his name, and I don't care about his name because he's a jerk. The way he kind of like talks, he's very possessive of Yuki, where, I mean, he is her childhood friend and he wants to be protective of her, feels like she needs protecting, but she doesn't really feel that way. And he kind of comes off as an asshole. So that's not fun. He really doubts Itsuomi's intentions with Yuki. There's a line in here where he wonders what type of kindness that Itsuomi is showing Yuki. Like, is it because he's just interested in the language aspect of their relationship, or does he genuinely care for her? And I feel like you get the sense while reading this that he genuinely cares for her and that the childhood friend is just being an asshole. He's so nice to her. Like, he genuinely cares for her, and like, this line where he says, I mean, they're talking about him traveling and wanting to take her with him, and who was like, I want to stuff you in a bag, and she says like, oh, I feel like baggage, and then he says like, you're not baggage, which like in the joking sense is good, but also like shows that he genuinely cares for her, and that she shouldn't feel insecure about the way that they communicate, or if she can't. Yeah, so a lot is said in this one little frame here, so very good. I do have one thing about this manga is that they do have like a sign language consultant, or like a sensitivity reader. I don't know what their process is for that, but they definitely do have a sign language consultant that they talk about, like obviously sign language in general, but then also like living while deaf. So that's really good. It's not really something that I can comment about, or I'm going to really go very deep into with my reviews, because I don't have that experience. I am not deaf or hard of hearing, so I cannot include that in my reviews, but I do want to talk about this manga in general. So volume 3 was very nice too. Let's see, more stuff about the asshole friend. This manga, it's like beautiful, like it's so pretty. One thing I did take note of while I was reading this is that it feels so quiet and calm. Like you can feel kind of the quietness in the room when Yuki and Itsuomi are together. How do I say this? Because this is such a weird thing, but I feel the calmness and the quietness that is their relationship, partly due to Itsuomi's nature, because he's like a chill guy, but then also due to Yuki not really speaking and them not having like that back and forth that somebody who was hearing could. I think Yuki does say in one of these volumes that she can speak, but she's very like self-conscious about the way she sounds to other people, and that they might think it's weird or whatever. Itsuomi is very accepting of it, and he was like, I want you to talk more if you can, and if you're comfortable with it, because I don't find anything wrong with your voice, which is very nice and very sweet. He's such a good boy. But yeah, so I just feel the calmness and the quietness of their relationship, and it's very relaxing and very sweet and very fun. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else gets that feeling also. Kind of this like calm and quiet feeling to this manga in general. So yeah, that's a sign of affection. Chapters of this do come out weekly. Like Kodansha publishes them, not weekly, I don't think. I don't know how often they come out, but they do print out, as they come out in Japan, they print them digitally in English, which is really nice. We rarely get that for shoujo manga, so I'm kind of debating on how I want to do this, if I want to catch up and read the chapters released digitally as they come out. But it's definitely a formula where digital first actually worked and they actually printed it, so I hope that's the way it is for other things. But yeah, so A Sign of Affection, really good. Also, another thing is that this is a manga that is definitely for older people. It's about like a relationship that is not high schoolers, and I feel like a lot of the manga that we get with kind of like older characters is of the spicy variety, whereas this is very sweet and innocent and fluffy, which is really nice, because I feel like a lot of, at least in my circles of like kind of people who like manga, when we talk about manga with older characters, there's also the implication that it is very sexy, which is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I like manga like that too, but it is nice to have a manga that gives you a fluffy feeling, like purely fluffy feeling and nothing else, that is about older characters. Okay, so the last manga I read was a digital manga, and it was A Kiss for Real by Fumie Akuta. So this is a digital only manga from Kodansha, and the first 7 volumes of it are available like on Comixology Unlimited or Kindle Unlimited, whatever one you use. And then the last 2 volumes you have to purchase, which is exactly what I did, but I'll probably at some point, if there's a sale, go back and buy the first 7 because I really loved this manga. So this manga is about a girl named Chitose who kind of, when she's at school and in public, puts on this like mask or facade of being like a perfect girl. She does it so that nobody hates her, and she's pretty popular and really well liked, so she it's successful, but she's not really living as her true self, and it kind of bothers her a little bit. At home she's a little less like goody two shoes perfect, and she does a lot of like weird crafting, like art stuff, and her family owns a weird like fusion restaurant and she sells it there. One day she runs into this guy Itsuki, and he is like, I don't know, she has some sort of run-in with him and they kind of get to know each other a little bit. It's kind of like enemies. They butt heads a lot. That's what it is. And she ends up following him to his art prep school where he's kind of like preparing to go to art college. And Itsuki kind of sees through this mask that she puts on, and he's like, why are you so fake? And that kind of like leads to them butting heads, that sort of thing. And just one thing leads to another, and she ends up joining this prep school with Itsuki. So it's not really far-fetched because she does do the crafting type of thing, so she does do some sort of art thing, so she's not like, the cute boy that made me angry, even though it was a little bit like that. But it turns out that it is such a good manga. Like, the two of them have a really good relationship. They kind of like grow together a little bit, and it's about like learning to love yourself for who you really are, and kind of not be scared to show people who you are. Kind of goes from there into finding something that you love that you want to do, and then actually pursuing it, making those decisions on where you want to go in life based on your passion. So it was really, really nice to read. Towards the middle of it, it did get a little bit of like, this is how art school in Japan works, and kind of the process of getting in there, which was a little bit boring, but I read another manga that goes through the same process too, so it wasn't like new information. If this is the first thing you've heard about art school in Japan, maybe it would be a little bit better. I kind of knew that information already because I've read like at least 2 manga about art schools, but then really gets into like kind of going after what you want, and kind of like not thinking about other people, you know, or how it would affect other people, which kind of calls back to the beginning where Chitose was kind of like trying to please everybody except for herself. So really, really nice manga. The relationship between Chitose and Itsuki is so nice and sweet, like really, it's so cute. And just both the passion that they have for art and each other is so, so nice. One thing that I didn't really like about this manga is there's a storyline with the older brother that kind of gets into love triangle, like a little bit creepy situation or storyline, and I felt like it really wasn't necessary. Like, there was really no choice that Chitose had to make. She already knew who she was gonna go with, so that storyline was really just there for like the character growth of the brother, and I feel like they could have done it without the romance element, which was a little bit creepy. So yeah, that's the only criticism I have of it, but still like really, really good. If you liked Blue Period, I think you would like this if you wanted kind of like a shoujo fluffy romance to it, because there's a lot of kind of the themes that I saw in the first volume of Blue Period, which is all I've read, so I don't know the rest of it. Discussion of like hard work and talent in the art space, and then getting into art college and like what you actually want to do and becoming who you really want to be. I feel like a lot of those same themes are present in A Kiss for Real, so if you liked Blue Period, you'd probably like A Kiss for Real if you like fluffy shoujo romances. Is, I think, everything that I read in what month is this? In August. I do want to do a little bit of self-promo. In the comments you will find a link to my Right Stuff affiliate link. So if you click on that link and you make a purchase on Right Stuff, it kind of gives me a little bit of commission to it. It's no charge for you, nothing extra for you. It's just like you're making a regular order, but if you use that link, then I get a little bit of a commission on it. It would really help me out with the channel and everything that I'm doing here. And so yeah, all of the physical volumes that I have here you can purchase on Right Stuff. They don't sell digital manga, but Right Stuff does have all of these physical manga. So it's definitely the best price you can get manga at. Also, it's really good. They're like a major distributor of manga, so if you want if you have stuff that's out of print that you really want, then you can kind of order it and it saves it for you. So when it comes back in print, it'll just ship to you. And also, since they're a major distributor of manga, it lets the publishers know that you want that manga printed. So yeah, please use the Right Stuff affiliate link in the description if you want to help support me and my channel. There's also an Amazon wishlist down there. If you want to use that, you don't have to. It's just there. It's just there, okay? Let me know if you have read any of these manga that I read this month, or let me know what you read this month, because I would be interested to know. I'm always looking for new stuff to read. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more manga goodness from me. That is all I've got, guys, today. I'm Chrissy Lou. Till next time, matane!